Today in this video, I'm going to show you a non-destructive way to create sketch and toon material in Cinema 4D. Okay, I have my render region here set up so I can see what I'm doing in real time. Okay, so what I want to do next is to create a new material and then go to the material editor, and here I can deselect the color and the reflection and just leave the luminance. Okay, so then I can go in and bring up lumas, and when lumas is up, and secondly I will go in again and bring up colorize. So as you can see, when I apply in colorize, the color has changed, and I'm going to go inside so I can select my own color. I think this bluish color is okay for this, so select the blue color, and you can see I'm getting this horrible color, so I'm going to go in and change the color to what I want. I can, so basically it goes from dark to light, and that is the shading that I want. I can put it from dark to light. Here we have the midtone, the highlights, and the shadows. And so okay, now I'm going to just arrange these ones and put them together the way I want them to be. Okay, I need a nice transition between the colors. Now you can see we have already started to have a shading going on here in the model. So right now the next thing to do is I will bring up I will go to create now, and then go to shader and bring in sketch material. Okay, so when I bring that up, you can see now the lines show, the sketch and toon lines are showing in the render region. So the lines are there, but they are not perfect. I think this is not what I want. I don't want the lines to be like this. And one thing you can do with the render region is when you this little arrow that you can bring up and down. So when the arrow is down, your picture quality is very low, and when you bring it up, the picture quality is very high, and now everything is sharp. Okay, so with that being said, now I can go inside the render settings and dial up some things. So inside the render settings, what I want to do now is go to sketch and toon, and here I can go to the shading tab, and in the background color, I don't want the background color, so I will select the background. I will select off for the background, and we don't need the background color, so I'm going to go in and off it so I can see behind the sketch and toon background. And also I can turn off the shading part because I don't need this shading. I already have my shading created with the lumas and colorize. So now I have the background off and the shading is off. So now let's go ahead and go back to here and start changing things up. Okay, so now I can bring up the material editor and go to luminance, and in luminance here now if you put these middle knots here, if you slide them close to each other, you can see that your shading transition from the two colors is very sharp and hard, and if you slide the knots away you can see that the transition are soft. So in this case what I want is a very hard 2D lighting, so I will put them together to get that very hard and sharp shadings and highlight. So we are starting now to get something really 2D looking here. Okay, now the lines are starting to come in. I think everything is going so well. So now what I want to create a glass material for the model glass part. So with the polygon selection tool I can select it. Oh no, now my render region is getting in the way, so now let me go and deselect the render region so I can select the polygons. So with the polygon selection tool I will just select the glass part, the place that I want to apply the glass material to. Okay, now select the place. You hold shift on the keyboard to select multiple polygons. Okay, so what I want to do now is to set selection for the glass material part. So go to select and set selection, and now I can rename the selection to glass. Now if you select the selection tag that you created, you can see that the glass part are being highlighted and selected. So now you can drag your material and put it in there, and it will only apply to that selected places that you highlighted with the selection tag here. So I can go and bring up render region so I can render and see what I have here. And as you can see here, everything is going okay. And I want another material for the landing gear, so I will just create a new material here and apply it to the landing gear. So now I'll create a new material, bring up the material editor and check the reflection, and I want it to have some sort of level of reflection to it. So I will bring this one up. Okay, drag it and drop it to the landing gear, and in here I can dial in my reflection settings. And for this part I want to have some sort of glow to it in the side of the model. So now I can go ahead and select take out the render region and select here, hold shift again to select multiple places, go to the other side now and select the other side, and I want to, okay, let me just get rid of this grid here, so I can go now to filter and then go down to grid and uncheck grid. So now the grid is out of the way. So now I can select the other side too and select here. Now I can go ahead and go to select and set selection, and I can call this one glow. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and bring up a glow material to apply to the selection for the glowing part of the model. So let me just rename this material here, and okay, now I can go and bring up the glow for the glow material to apply it in the places that I set the selection to. I can go in and bring up the glow material and drag and drop it to the selected places, Now we have some, so you can see we have some sort of glow, very subtle glow. I don't want it to be too much, so this seems okay for me. So right now I'm going to go ahead and bring up my interactive render region, and you can see what this one does. Okay, we're having a little bit of glow reflecting the model, so that is nice. It's subtle, but it's okay. This is how I want it to be. And of course you can go and change the color, maybe to more red, and you can also do that as well. This is really non-destructive. You can go in and dial in everything, make some changes, anything. Okay, now I think I need to apply some more color to the model, because it seems like the model is flat, that there's no enough contrast in the colors. So I'm going to go on and bring in a new color. So with the polygon selection tool, I'm going to select the side that I want the other color to be. So I will select here and select this part too. Okay, select here, hold shift again to select more than one polygons, and I can select here too. So now I have all my places selected. Okay, now maybe select down here too, and here. And select here too with this part. You can hold control to deselect a selected polygon. Okay, so now when I have all my polygons selected, I can go to select and I can set selection, and I can rename this again. Alright, and I can double click on the selection tag, so I can apply a new material to the selected part. So I will go to the material editor and uncheck color reflection, leaving only the luminance. Go in again and select lumus, and secondly select colorize. And I want it to be a red color, so I will select this very deep red color. Okay, in Sketch and Toon, it's all a matter of playing in with the settings to get what you want. And also I think down here I need a different color for this part of the model, so I will apply a new material for this part of the model too. Now I can go ahead and take out my render region. With the polygon selection tool, I will select the selected part, maybe use loop select to select places faster. You can hold control to deselect a selected polygon. So now I will create a new material, and now I can apply the new material to this polygon. And this is one way of making selection tags too. automatically you can see now the selection tag has appeared. Okay, now I think I'm going to go inside the material editor and crank up the reflectivity. So let me bring up this, bring up the inner width, bring this one up too, and okay, so now we have this reflection going on with this side of the model. So I can go ahead and duplicate my glow layer. I want the back side of the jet engine to have some sort of fiery glow to it. Now I can go and select a really yellowish fiery glow and apply it, and then select the polygons there, and I can apply it there too. Okay, so I will select the polygon and drag and drop the newly created material, and I can bring this up to see how everything goes. Okay, this is how it looks. Okay, now if you are having this problem where the lines intersect, and where the lines intersect, the lines are gone, so if you want to see a stroke there in this where the model intersects with each other, this is how you do it to get those lines. So now go to the render settings. Here go to sketch and tone settings. In the lines tab you can check intersect, so automatically you can see now the lines are coming out. So now let me go inside the material editor, make the lines a little bit smoother in the edges. Okay, let's see. Okay, now okay, now it seems like my glow is gone. I applied these red parts to the glowing side. Okay, my bad. So now I can go and fix this. We don't want this red, obviously. Okay, so now I can go and select the glow tag, glow selection tag, and apply the material, apply the glow material to that part again. Okay, so now the glow is back. Okay, now let's give it an overall render and see. Okay, it seems like everything is going nice. Let me check out the back and render again. Okay, now it seems like everything is complete. I think everything is looking nice. We have our lines, we have a really cool shading, really cool 2D shading going on. Okay, now let me bring out the interactive render region again. And if you want to change the line thickness, you can double click on the sketch material, then go back to thickness, and here you can change how thick or thin you want the lines to be. Okay, obviously this is really thick, so I think I'm going to go ahead and put something like 2.4. It's okay. Okay, Okay, and I think maybe I can select different color for this part of the model. So I will go to the polygon selection and select these polygons here, and go to the back and select the ones at the back too. Okay, select these ones too. Okay, select the ones under, making sure not to miss any polygon here. Okay, so far so good. I have make selection, and I can double click and make a new material and then apply the material to the selected part. Okay, let me just make the color a little bit darker. Okay, we have some colors now. We have blue, red, and a dark black. Really nice contrast. Okay, I think everything is nice. And this sketch and Toon also works with light, so let me just bring up my lights and place it where I want it to be. Okay, and I really want it to be really hard. I want the lines transition to be really sharp. So now let me go inside to the material editor so I can change that. And using these knots here, I can make the lines really sharp, and maybe this one too. So I can go in now and bring up another color. So we have 4 different color, going from really dark blue to a more lighter and cyanish blue. Okay, I think the shading is now sharp and pronounced. Now you can see where the light hits and where the reflection hit. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the light for now, so I can see things now without the light. Okay, so now this is one way to do the sketch and Toon material, and let me show you another way you can apply the same sketch and Toon vibe, the same sketch and Toon material in another way. I think this next method have more level of control to it, so I'm going to go ahead and create a new material, and leaving only the luminance. I will uncheck the color and reflection, and then go here and select cell shader. And now let me just apply the cell shader to my the selected part of the model here. Okay, so now I can see what I'm doing in real time, and now I can go in and select a different color, maybe green. Now select the darker part, and here I can use the eye drop to select the same color but lighter. with the eye drop again, I will select the same color and make it lighter. Okay, so now you can see it. This is another way really you of making the sketch and tone material. Of course, you can use this one or that one. In my opinion, I think both work. So anyways, they are all great, and I think they will work very perfectly in your project. Okay, so now I want the lines to be smooth, and I'm going to go ahead and click the gradient nodes here and go to interpolation and select smooth. Okay, now I can bring them together or bring them apart to create more smoother or more hard transition shading between the lines. Okay, you can see we are getting something else. Okay, you can use the first method, you can use this one, anyone works. I personally use both because I think they are both great. I use this one, I use the other one. Okay, so if you go to the luminance shader, I mean the cell shader here, you can choose how you want your object to be seen, like how you want the light to affect the model. Do you want the camera light, or do you want to use your own light in your scene? So here you can choose whether to do it by camera or to have your own light. Okay, so I will select the light, and now when I go and add in my lights, you can see now the lights are starting to show more and more, even more pronounced than the other first method of 2D shading that I just showed you. I think this method is better. Okay, I think this one is better. I'll take that. Okay, so now you can see I can go ahead and play with the lights, and I can create another light. You can see it. Okay, and what you can do to like vamp up the quality of the render is you can go to the render settings and select ambient occlusion and global illumination. So let's give it a render now and see what we have. Okay, I think I'm going to use the image renderer for this one. So now I can take out the interactive render region and use the image renderer. Okay, so when it's done rendering, you can see here the greens is reflecting under the landing gear. Let me go in and add more lights, and again duplicate this light by holding control, bring it over here and render. Okay, now you see that the light is the hard lines, the shading lines is more pronounced, and everything is more accurate and high quality now. And of course you can go here and make it smoother or harder depending on what your style is. Some people like it to like the lines to be hard and sharp, and some people like the lines to be smooth. Okay, so now if you want, when you zoom in here, you see where I transition from where I put this red color in between the red and the green color. There is no line, so if you want lines there and somehow your model isn't given the lines, this is how you achieve, you manually put those lines using the pen tool. So now select the pen tool, and now I can draw where I want the lines to be. So click, and now what you want to do next is go to the render settings, go to sketch and toon, go to the lines tab, and here you can check splines. So now any spline in your scene will show, and as we have these lines made with spline pen tool, the lines will show there. So let me go ahead and give it another render so we can see how the lines are. Okay, so now you can see the lines are showing, and of course you can go in and put the lines anywhere you want just by going in the material editor and checking the spline option and also using the spline pen tool. Okay, now you can go ahead and make different color, different variation, different kind of car, vehicle, maybe an airplane or anything. All right. Okay, I think that's it for this video. Also, don't forget to subscribe, like if you like this video, share, and I will see you in the next one.